Hello! We're back with another one of Isaac. And today we're gonna be playing as Lilith. So, Lilith is a pretty special character. She was introduced with Afterbirth, so it's a pretty new character as well. And she starts with 3 items: Incubus, Box of Friends, and Cambion Conception. And what is so special about her is that she can't actually shoot tears herself since she has a blindfold on. So your only way of dealing damage is through Incubus. And Incubus, we had it in the last run, and it of course always scales with the damage. So it's basically just like your character, and it pretty much doesn't change anything in the run, except that your tears don't come out from your character, but slightly behind you, which can make it hard to hit some enemies. And especially if there's rocks in the way, like in that room, it can be quite difficult to actually hit enemies, since Incubus always flies behind you. So it can be quite annoying from time to time. But anyways, the other items Lilith has is Box of Friends, which is an active item that doubles all your familiars. So if I were to use it right now, I would then have 2 Incubus. And if I get more familiars, that would also double them. And it's a pretty good item, especially for bosses. And for clearing some rooms, especially on the earlier floors, it's really helpful. But the good thing about this item is that it really doesn't fall off in the endgame, since Incubus scales with damage. So it's gonna be strong in the early stages of the run, and in the later stages of the run. And also with Incubus, hitting troll bombs is also harder, as you just saw. Then the last item Lilith starts with is Cambion Conception, and what that does is, if you get hit, I think it was 15 times during your run, you spawn another familiar, and I think it only works once. So if you get hit enough, we will spawn another familiar, which is pretty helpful for Lilith. And that is a pretty good item. We will go back to the item room, and I will reroll that item, since Spider Bite isn't that useful for us. And Technology is way more useful. So Technology just turns your tears into lasers. It's a pretty nice item, since now you just have infinite range and you can pierce through enemies, which is really helpful. Also, another good thing about Lilith is that she starts her run with 2 black hearts. So that is really good. And because of it, we will probably get a devil on this floor. But we will see. I mean, we already took 1 half heart damage, which is not that good. Sadly, Technology can't go through rocks, but that's totally fine, since Technology is just really good otherwise. There's also another item of Technology, which is Technology 2. And despite its name, it's not actually better than Technology. It's actually way worse. Because what Technology 2 does is it also replaces your tears with lasers, but instead of single lasers, it's just 1 constant laser. And that wouldn't be too bad, but sadly, Technology 2 severely decreases your damage. So it's really not that good. And we also took damage yet again. So the devil you might get a little bit harder now. Also that super form, as you saw in the other room, it just spawns 2 more versions of itself. That can be quite annoying, but usually it's fine. But yeah, with enemies like this, Incubus is really... it's really hard to hit your tears. And these stone enemies, they don't actually deal damage, they are just annoying. Because they will block your tears and will make moving harder. And luckily, since we have technology, they're not that bad, since we can just fire right through them. But if we didn't have technology, they would be really annoying. And this is just the same room again. But you just have to get used to Incubus. Because if you don't, you're gonna miss a lot of shots. And that's really not that good. They hope that we get a Devil Deer here. And we did. That is really good. And there's half Barrow. And we also gain flight. So this is really good. Because of Empty Vessel we can now fly. And we don't have any red hearts, but because of Empty Vessel and Half Bowland, we probably want to keep it that way. Since if we get red hearts now, we would lose flight and lose damage. And lose the shield that you sometimes get from Empty Vessel. So I would like to keep having no red hearts. The secret room might be here. It's not. Or I just missed the bomb. Which is totally plausible. I'm actually gonna look. I didn't miss the bomb. Also, I think it's a good time to explain all the icons that you see on the card that is next to left of paused. So top left is you get that icon if you beat It Lives. The one right next to it, you get that when you beat Isaac. Then right to that is you get the star if you beat the boss rush. Below the star, you would get that if you beat the dark room. And then the first picture, which is right in the middle, you get that if you beat Blue Baby, so if you have done the chest. Next to that, so left of it, you would get that icon if you beat Shawl. And in the bottom right, you get that icon if you beat Hush. And if you beat Delirium, the boss that we died to in the last run, the card would get all bloody and messed up. Left to Hush would be Greed Mode. Greed Mode is another mode which adds tons of different stuff and just plays really differently. We might do that in the next video, I don't know. But left to that, so in the bottom left, would be Mega Satan. And through these icons you can just track what bosses you've beaten with this character. And that's how I basically structure my run. So I just look at the icons, see what I haven't done, and then I try to do that. So in this one, we would try to go for the Delirium if we get it. But we would definitely go for the Dark Room, because then I would get 2 more icons. And if we get extremely lucky, we might also be able to go to Mega Satan. But I wouldn't count on that. So yeah, the goal for this run is just to go to the Dark Room. And we got flooded caves again, which I still don't like. Because some rooms are just really difficult. But it's a good thing that we can fly. Helps a lot. And we can also visit the shop on this floor. And getting a lot of coins with Lilith is actually really useful, because in the shop there's one item, BFF, which increases the damage of all of your familiars. It also works on Incubus, so it would just be a war damage up, which is really good. And we definitely want that. It's just a bit annoying that we have Curse of the Lost again, because I can't see my map. It's quite annoying. This should be the shop, and it is. And we get another soul out from just shooting flames. Yeah, shooting fires. The chance for that is really, really low. And we got it twice this one. Just really lucky. I'm just gonna take the compass. So if we were to see the map, the compass would show us where the boss is and where Gold Room is and the shop and stuff like that. It would show it on the map. But we can't see the map, so on this floor it's currently useless. But it will be pretty handy on the other floors. And Rainbow Worm is a pretty interesting item. So there are different worm trinkets in this game, and all of them have a different effect. They mostly just change the way your tears fly. So as you saw right there, and can see now, the way the tear flies is different. It also applies to technology, of course. And some of them additionally give some effects like increased range or increased tears, which is really good. And Sad Bombs is pretty good as well, since when you now deploy a bomb, it just shoots out tears in every direction. With technology it's not that good, but it's still fine. And one makes you larger is not really something you want. And we just took damage because of it. Because it actually makes your hitbox bigger. And if we didn't have it, I could have just went under these things that shoot without taking damage. But because I had one makes you larger, my hitbox was actually large enough to get hit there. Quite unlucky. But this one is otherwise really fine, so I'm not going to complain. And Wreck Mega is a really nice boss with technology. Since normally those things that fly after me would just block my shots, but they don't. And I know I said that I didn't want another red heart, and I knew that Halo would give me a red heart. But Halo is just too good to not pick up. So I just picked it up. And I'm currently trying to see if I missed any other room. It appears as though I didn't. No, I did. Alright. Legolas just destroys every rock in the room. But now we can head on to the next floor. I'm not going to be searching for secret rooms here since I can't see the map. And I have absolutely no idea where a secret room could be. But as you can see, now we can see where the gold room and item room and such is located. And I will just do this boss room. Even though it's probably not really worth, I will still do it. And yeah. We're taking a bit too much damage here. But that boss normally doesn't spawn that many enemies. But yeah, one advantage that Incubus has is that you can dodge in place and still hit your enemy, because the familiar actually doesn't move instantaneously. So that can sometimes be an advantage. But most of the time it's a disadvantage to just be able to shoot with Incubus. Yeah, it can be quite hard to hit enemies. We're gonna play with this one once, because then we're in Hall of Babylon. It doesn't actually give us anything, because we didn't donate enough hearts to him. He could have given us an item if we had enough hearts, but we only had one red heart, and he only takes red hearts. If you don't have any more red hearts, then he will just take your soul hearts, and I really don't want that. So I didn't play with him any longer. But we're in half Babylon again, which is really good. And Daddy Longlegs is a really good item. And that's an Eternate chest. What it does, you can open it a certain amount of times. It's luck based, how often you can open it. But it will continuously give you items and stuff. And it actually gave an item, which is quite lucky. But yeah, now we can't open it anymore. And I accidentally picked up another heart, which I didn't intend to do, since now we're out of our Babylon again. But hopefully we get a devil deal and we can get rid of that red heart again. Because then we could also fly again, which would really be good. But yeah, in rooms like this, technology is just really great. Because normally it's really easy to take damage here, since you don't know where the enemies appear and you just have to move towards them. And the room layout makes it pretty hard to maneuver here. But since we have technology, we can just shoot across the room and don't move towards them. And the item we got last is Infamy, and you just saw what it did. I just blocked that tier. And that's exactly what Infamy does. I'm just gonna use Sagaless here since I'm gonna be taking Joker, which teleports me to the Devil or Angel deal, depending on what you get. It's really good since you can just use it on a floor where you didn't get a Devil deal, and then you'll still be able to take the deal, even though you normally wouldn't have gotten a deal. And also Daddy Longlegs works with Box of Friends, so now we have 2, which is really good. And we did get a devil deal. And it's a good one. Which is really good. And I'm gonna be taking Rotten Baby. And what I just did right there, it looked like there were spikes and I couldn't actually go there without taking damage. But if the spikes are positioned like that, you can just carefully move through them, so you actually won't take damage. It's just a nice little trick. But now we can fly again. And we have Rotten Baby, which is a really good familiar. And I'm gonna take left hand. We probably won't get Guppy in this run again. Also because I just didn't pick up that one Guppy item. So that's why we probably won't be getting Guppy. But taking red chest is still worth, because the chance of you getting a soul heart is pretty high. And we only have 4 hearts, so getting more soul hearts would be worth. And now we have I Can See Forever, which just opens every secret room if you're in the room adjacent to it. So I'm just gonna go to these rooms to see if this super secret room is there. It's probably next to the boss. Yeah, it should be somewhere around the boss room. Yep. And we can actually play with this coin dagger, since we have a lot of coins. And I won't be taking that, since it's a health up. And we don't want a health up. We definitely want to be going to the shop on this floor. And hope that it's not a boss again. So we can actually take the shop. Also, another nice thing about the compass is that it actually shows you whether the room that you're gonna be going to is a library or a shop. I mean, again, you can... It's not hard to tell whether it's a library or a shop, since the library is always the one closer to the spawn. It's not really that hard to tell, but it's still nice. Still nice that you get it. And I didn't see that enemy. And now we get our other familiar, which is Lil Brimstone, which is a pretty good familiar, since he does a lot of damage. Only sad thing is that he's way far back in our line, which makes it really hard to hit with his Brimstone. Normally you would want him as far in the front as possible. But it's still really good familiar. But I will take this curse room. And because of empty vessel we actually didn't take any damage, since we got a shield in the room. And for now I will carry Hagalas with me instead of Joker, since I will only use Joker if we don't get a Devil Deal on this floor, which the chances for that are pretty high. And we actually got another Joker. Since we can only carry one card, I will use that Joker on this floor, no matter what. We'll just use Hagalas here and use Joker. This is a pretty good Devil Deal. Ceremonial Robes. It gives you 3 black arts, and we had to trade 3 soul arts for it. And we got a damage up. Pretty good deal. Didn't need the other item since it only gives you flight. And we can already fly. And then we would have been on only 1 art, which really wouldn't have been good. And yeah, this since we got a lot of familiars, Box of Friends is just getting stronger and stronger. So yeah, it's just a really good active item, especially with Lilith. And if we get BFF in the shop now, then it's really good. Because then all of our familiars would deal way more damage. And they already deal tons of damage. Since we have enough keys, I will go into the library. And the Hierophant is really good. I will just teleport to the shop now, and we actually got the other boss. which is really unlucky. They don't know which floor we are on, but if it is the floor that... if it's the mom floor, then we won't be getting another shop, which would be really unlucky. So I hope that we're not on the floor that I think we are. I'm also blowing up these skulls since they have a chance to drop a black card. Or another familiar, actually. And I really want black cards right now. The Fallen is a really nice boss since he will give us a free W item. And it's another familiar. It's a really bad familiar, but it's still a familiar. And that's pretty good. Because it just means more damage for us. And even more damage with Box of Friends. Which is really good. Curse of the Tower is... it's a fine item. But it can easily mean that you get hit once. So, if you get hit, you just spawn a lot of troll bombs. And if you get hit, because you spawn a lot of them, it can easily mean that you get hit another time because of that item. But your enemies will also most likely get hit, so I usually take it. And we got another familiar. If we get another familiar that contributes to the conjoined transformation, we should be getting the conjoined transformation. I forgot what conjoined does, but I know that it is a pretty good transformation. I think. So we would definitely want that. And now we'll go to the boss. And hope that it's not Mom. Because I would really like to actually visit a shop. And there's a tinted rock here. Oh yeah, and I should not forget to pick up the Joker. I almost forgot about that. And I didn't mean to use that key. But it's fine. I think we had another Hagelas rune somewhere. I think we did. And with it we could destroy that tinted rock. No, we didn't. But what we could do, it's probably not going to be worth. But we can take damage here to take this rock. And it was worth. Oh yeah, and I forgot. Curse of the Tower actually synergizes with Sad Bombs, so it was really good that we picked that up. Because not only will it spawn a lot of bombs, but they will spawn my tears as well. And Small Walk is just a damage up. And it is Mom. That's quite sad. But yeah, we have our little army of familiars here. And they deal a lot of damage. And since we want to go to the Dark Room, we will be taking the negative. And not the Polaroid. So the effect of the negative is that it damages every enemy in the room once you get hit. But that effect only activates if you're... I think it's if you have one red heart max. I think if you have more than one red heart it doesn't activate. But I'm not too sure about that. I just know that we need more health. So hopefully we were getting more health. We have a 100% chance for W, which is really good. So as long as we don't die, we will be getting a W. And hopefully we won't die. And if we also get a W on the next floor, then we can actually use the Joker, because after it lifts you normally don't get any more devil deals. But with Joker you can just teleport to the devil deal anyways, even if a devil deal is normally not accessible on that floor. You can still teleport to one, which is pretty nice. And we really can take more damage, because we only have a really limited amount of hearts. And another health up, which we still don't need. And that's Dead Cat. It's basically also another health up, so I don't want to be taking it. But it depends on what comes out of the other red chests. Yeah, no, I won't be taking it. But we really have been unlucky with the red chests. Haven't gotten a single soul heart from them. Yeah. Really unlucky with those. And in a room like this you can just activate Box of Friends, because I really don't want to be doing this room, because it's a really hard room. So I'm just gonna activate Box of Friends to get some extra damage. But yeah, you can see that we just have so many familiars that most of them won't even move with us. We could theoretically take those one makes you larger pills to get a transformation, but it's not worth. Since that transformation, as far as I'm concerned, just means that you can walk over walks and destroy them. And another health up. They can also give you other items, I'm pretty sure. But they've only given us health ups so far. Which I really don't like. And I'm also just not finding the boss room. And I took damage again. It really doesn't look too good, sadly. Because this is actually quite a good run. Oh yeah, right, we have the compass. I forgot. Could have just found the boss room that way. probably avoided a lot of unnecessary damage. It's just really scary because, yeah, if we take damage another time, then we're just dead. I'm actually gonna teleport to the Devil Deal now to see if anything's there. And I'm gonna take this item. We will die, but we will respawn with more damage and more hearts. This also means that we're a different character now. So we don't have Incubus anymore. And we also have already done Darkroom with this character. So we won't be getting the unlock for beating the Darkroom if we actually do it. Which we might not do since I'm still taking damage. But this hopefully means that we will at least finish this run. But we've just really been getting unlucky with the health. We just haven't really gotten a lot of health. It's honestly quite sad. Because this run is really good otherwise. It's just that we really aren't getting as much health as we want. And because this is an XL floor, we are already at deadlifts. Because apparently XL floors count as 2 floors. I didn't actually know that. Yeah, and there we are dead. There we took damage again because of 1 makes you larger. It's pretty sad that we lost this run. We just got a little bit unlucky and didn't get a lot of health. Otherwise it was a really good run. It's pretty sad. But that will be it for this video. Bye.